Well, a critical time of the year for crop insurance decisions, but this year, reasons to not rush the decision. That's why we're talking with Jason Williamson with Williamson Crop Insurance. Jason, there are a lot of guys trying to make decisions right now, and there's a lot of people trying to rush them into that decision.
Well, Rob, it becomes two separate things. There's the crop insurance decision, which we have until March 15th. We've got plenty of time on that, but we set our base prices or our main prices during the month of February. So for crop insurance, we can speculate, we can get it close, but at the same time that they're trying to elect what they want to do for crop insurance this year, they're getting calls from the Farm Service Agency to go in and elect, do I want to be enrolled in the PLC or the price loss coverage or ARC at the FSA? And so two decisions at once, they'll kind of interrelate, but they are separate decisions, but yet we're trying to help them navigate their way through it.
So what I'm hearing you say is that your recommendation is don't rush this. We have a few days here, maybe even a couple of weeks, to have a look at things, see where this market is going. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
A little bit, Rob. I mean, the early indications is guys are calling me and saying, hey, what should I do at the FSA? They're hearing, hey, Arc County is absolutely the way to go. And it very well could be. But since there are crop insurance decisions that are affected based on what you sign up for at the FSA, we're saying if it's possible, let's wait and see where this market is at least in the first part of February, so we can see if that ARC Olympic average price of $485 is going to be close to the crop insurance base price, which is looking at the D-score and contract in February, before we jump into something. Because what you elect at the FSA does not matter what you're planting this year. It's on your base acres and your base yield at FSA. That is completely separate and completely detached from what you might be planting this year and what the Board of Trade is at during February. So they get intermingled, and so we have to kind of pull them apart, say this is where they stand separate, but here's where they do go across each other and what we have to be careful of.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you about, because this was something as we harken back to last year, and you were talking about planting dates, and there were some changes and so forth. Does that factor into some of what's going on this year, or is this market-driven this year?
Well, it's more market-driven. The planting dates there were changes and updates last year, and those have not changed for this year. And what they did was a good thing. It said we can put soybeans in earlier with crop insurance and still have replant coverage. So that was a very positive change. Give us a longer planting window, give those beans a longer growing season.
And there's some people that got theirs in early last year and probably pretty happy about those dates, because last year some of those guys got it in early, had huge yields.
And that is what I'm hearing too. I've had guys even come up to me and say, this was a great thing. The weather gave us the opportunity to get it in early. We went ahead and we rolled, and hey, those were some of our best beans. So that is the goal, is when they get enough data, they make these positive changes on the crop insurance policy. So they didn't change anything for this year. They've left those new dates, if you will, in place on the planting so that we're in good shape there. That's a positive thing. What we're really looking at this year is last year in the month of February, the December corn contract averaged $591. Unfortunately, I don't think the DS24 contract is going to be close to $591 during February unless something drastic we're changing. It's more than $1 under that now. Same thing is true on the soybeans, $13.76 last year, and we're below 12 now on the Board of Trade this year. So those things are going to affect the crop insurance, and it'll make it cost less, but it's also the guarantees and the coverage will be lower as well. So we really want to see where it's at and make sure we're fitting it to each operation.
All the indications that we are getting today, and we're here at the Fort Wayne Farm Show talking about it, so give you a sense about the date of this conversation. But to your point, we are testing those support levels like massively, and we got word this morning, maybe related to some degree, but Brazilian soybeans today are dropping down around $9. So some of these indications are really suggesting that we're pushing lower in this market. So again, to your point, taking a couple of extra weeks to see if this market is indeed going there and whether or not we're going to find a support level that's strong enough to hold us there, probably a good idea to just wait a couple of weeks.
Well, I think so. For a lot of folks, that's definitely the case. Now, we have some folks that we work with that'll say, I have a marketing plan in place. I do it year in, year out. I'm going to stick to it, and therefore, I just want to know where my insurance guarantees are now so I can work accordingly. We can be very close with that. I have other folks that say, I want to look at the best insurance option for me, or based on where this market's trending, maybe I want this option in crop insurance, maybe I don't. Maybe I want to do something at the FSA that will not allow me to purchase something with crop insurance. Those are all things that we have to consider, and if you think, well, yeah, I do want to consider all my options. All my options probably means we want to wait a little bit and get a better idea where this market's at.
Jason Williamson with Williamson Crop Insurance. That is what we count on you for. Thanks so much for that.
Hey, Rob, thank you very much. Appreciate seeing you again today.
Podcasts by Federated Media.